Kindergarten classroom management still feels hard, even when you're using behavior strategies, classroom routines, and all the things you've been told should work. You have expectations, you've tried some visuals, you have routines in place, and you're still repeating yourself all day long. You're managing every transition, you're putting out fires constantly, and by the end of the day, you're completely drained. Let's talk about why classroom management still feels hard when you're doing all the things and what you're actually missing. Welcome to the Kindergarten Toolbox Podcast. I'm your host, Amy Murray, here to help you simplify kindergarten with tools and strategies that actually work with real live 5 and 6-year-olds. Let's dive into your shortcut to calmer days and more confident writers. It's not because you don't know what you're doing. It's not because of a lack of effort on your part. Trust me, I know you're trying everything. And it's not because you haven't found the right tool yet. What's actually happening is this. You have pieces of what works, but they're not connected in a way that supports your day. Most kindergarten classes have a mix of all kinds of things going on. There's a behavior chart, some routines. There might be some visuals posted somewhere, but maybe not all the time. And there are expectations, but are they visual? Can kids really concretely understand them? Everything's happening separately, and your day sounds like this. Oh, sit down, stop talking, get started on your work. Please stop talking. It's time to line up. Pay attention. I'm talking up here. Or worse, you're just sitting there saying, I'll wait till you're quiet. I'm so guilty of that one. And you're repeating this over and over again, not because your students can't do it or that they're like totally off the walls out of control, but because they don't have something to rely on that isn't your voice. And that can make classroom management feel exhausting. The real problem isn't that you need more behavior strategies. Remember, your plate is already overflowing. We don't want to keep adding more to it. The problem is that everything you're using is disconnected. It's not working together. It's not working for you. Your expectations might not always be clear enough for them to follow independently. Your visual supports might not be used consistently or might not be tied in to what's really happening in your day. Maybe you have your class visual schedule up there, but did you actually change it when your schedule changed today? I'm guilty of that one too. Your classroom routines change just enough that kids can't rely on them. And that's especially true this time of year and so often can be out of your control. And then everything falls back on your shoulders and then you become the system. You're the reminder, you're the prompt, you're the one who's holding it together all day long. And that's when classroom management feels hardest. Classrooms that feel calm and manageable don't have more strategies. They're not trying something new every single day. They have systems that are working together, where the expectations are clear, the visuals match what students are supposed to do, and routines stay consistent as possible, so students know what to expect. So they're not relying on you for everything. They're relying on the systems that you have in place. They walk into school and they get started because they know what your morning routine is. And even when that has to change, you have a visual on the board to show them so they know what to expect. They transition without constant reminders because you have a system for that. And they begin their work without asking what to do next because they can check the visuals on the board. It might not always be perfect, but they're relying less on you. And so you're doing it consistently enough that your day feels easier. This is the shift from managing behavior moment by moment to building a system that supports behavior all day long. So you're not repeating directions, repeating yourself constantly. Instead, did you check the chart? Did you check the visual? You're sending them there instead of you. And then you're not feeling like you have to hold it all together by yourself because you have something in place that's actually supporting you. And that is when things start to change. Okay, let's paint a picture of what your morning routine might feel like right now, because this is where most teachers are like, oh yeah, that is what's happening. If you start your day, students come in, and instead of getting started on your morning work, you're answering questions like, where do I go? What do I do? Do I need my folder? Or worse, they're just going and chatting and talking to each other and not doing anything you're supposed to do. You're giving directions. Again, you're always repeating yourself. And then maybe it's time to transition and you say, come to the carpet. Some students come up right away for morning meeting. Some are running and sliding and having their own WWE entrance to the morning meeting. That is not what you want. Some are wandering and it's just chaos. Not because they can't do it, but because they don't have something clear and consistent to follow without you narrating every step. Or maybe it's time for small groups and you sit down ready to teach and everything starts to feel incredibly difficult. You are trying to teach this small group of kids, but you're constantly looking up. Someone needs help. Someone's off task. Someone's asking what they should do next or where they should turn their paper in. And instead of teaching your group, you're managing your class the whole time. And that's exhausting. That's what we need to get away from. This keeps happening because your systems aren't doing the work. It falls back on you. You're the one reminding, redirecting, explaining, managing every step of your day all day long. And even if that gets you through without the chaos, it's exhausting. So even when you have good routines and things in place, without having a system where they don't rely on you, you're draining yourself by the end of the day. Without that connection between everything, your systems aren't working. But what if your students walk in and they get started on morning work right away? Not because you told them to 5 times, but their folders are in the bin because they know that's the first step of the morning routine. What if you say, come to the carpet, and they stand up, push in their chairs, and walk to the carpet? Or you sit down for small group, and you actually get to sit and teach while the rest of your students are doing what they're supposed to be. It might not always be perfect, and it might not always be silent, but enough that you can actually do what you're meant to do, teach. And you're not leaving at the end of the day thinking, oh, that was a disaster. But you're feeling like, okay, I can do this. That felt like teaching. That's the shift that I want for you. And that's what happens when classroom management stops relying on you and starts being supported by a system that holds it all together. So if you're feeling stuck in this classroom management rut, you are not alone. I've been in your shoes and so many other teachers have been too. It's not because you're doing anything wrong. In fact, you're probably trying all the things, but you're trying to piece it all together. So you have some of the pieces. You have maybe expectations and you've tried routines and you've used visuals, but no one's shown you how to actually put it all together in a way that works in a real kindergarten classroom. And that is exactly why I created the Kindergarten Behavior Blueprint. Not to give you more strategies to try or more fluff, but to show you how to take the expectations you already have, pair them with visuals that actually support your day, build routines your students can follow independently, and put it all together in a way that feels manageable. So your classroom runs more smoothly without you having to manage every single moment. And you can check out Kindergarten Behavior Blueprint using the link below. Reach out if you have any questions at all. I am happy to answer them for you. Next week, we're going to keep building on this and talk about one of the biggest mistakes kindergarten teachers make when they try to fix classroom management. Trying to fix everything at once. Because when everything feels hard, it's tempting to change the behavior chart, redo the routines, add a new reward, add something new, start all over. But that usually makes things harder. So next week, we'll talk about how to choose one place to start so you can make your classroom feel more manageable without overwhelming yourself or your students. I'll see you then. Thanks for listening to the Kindergarten Toolbox. I'm Amy Murray, and I'm so glad you're here. Be sure to check the show notes for all the links and resources from today's episode. For even more tips, tools, and support, head to teachingexceptionalkinders.com or connect with me on Instagram at teachingexceptionalkinders. If you enjoyed this episode, please follow along and subscribe to the show and take a minute to leave a review. It helps other kindergarten teachers to find us too. Teaching kindergarten is tough, but you're not alone. Here's to calmer days and more confident writers. You've got this.